What up YouTube, it's your boy Unlimited Hustler and I'm back with another video. In this video, I want to show you guys things that I wish I knew before I get started doing DoorDash. For the people that's going to be starting DoorDash or the people that's interested in right now, they're doing their research. So if you're watching this video, you're probably interested in doing DoorDash, but you want some more knowledge before you get started. You want to know if this is the good fit for you, and you came to the right place. This video would be good for the people that's still undecided and maybe they want to know if you should go with DoorDash, Uber Eats, or any of the other ride sharing apps. You know, they have Postmates and so many nowadays. I'm going to be sharing a few things that I wish I knew. Don't get it twisted. This video is not me bashing DoorDash. It's not me convincing you not to do DoorDash. It's just me informing you guys, giving you guys some knowledge, so that way you know what to expect and what to look out for, and just better prep you before you're getting started. And also, you know, making you finalize your thoughts whether or not this is going to be the right move for you, or if you're thinking about maybe quitting your job or making this full-time. So this will give you some inside scoops on whether or not this is the right decision for you to make. First thing I want to talk about is the pay. So the pay might not be worth it. The lowest base pay I've seen from DoorDash so far is $2 an hour. That's ridiculous. So what that means is that DoorDash is only paying you $2 for that order. Everything else is going to rely solely on tips. This is regular hours. This is not during peak time or peak pay. This is regular hours. You can't really determine when regular hours are going to be for DoorDash. They have their own way of determining whether or not to have peak pay. I guess it's based on demands, or I don't know how to determine it. Usually on the weekends they have peak pay, but not always. It really just depends on, you know, what they determine is going to be busy or not, or the amount of drivers that they want out that day. I see the base pay to be between $2 and $3. Mainly it's $3, but you know, then again, it really depends. And let's say you're doing an order for $3 and the customer is not tipping. Let's be honest here, everybody don't tip. You know, customers try to tip because they understand your situation, or they understand that these type of jobs rely solely on tips. So they do try to tip, but I'll say most customers does tip, but you know, you have your few customers that don't. And let's say you have an order at, you know, Steak and Shake or Chipotle or Chick-fil-A, and it's $3, and then the customer don't tip. So that means your pay for that order is $3. And let's say this order, it could be 10 miles or, you know, 5 miles. So that means it's going to take you, what, 30 minutes? Depending on how long the food takes to get ready or how long you're far from the restaurant. Usually DoorDash try to put you in an area close to the restaurant, so you don't really have to worry about being too far from restaurants. You're probably already in that area. It's just a matter of you going there, the order being ready, and how far the distance is. So it depends on all that, how that goes. You could find yourself making $3 in 30 minutes. It's ridiculous. And you know, that's if the order is ready and if everything goes good. If there's a delay or something, it can be worse. So that's something to consider, that, you know, the only reason we're doing this is to make money. It's a side hustle for us. We don't want to be out there making $3 in 30 minutes. We're there to try to maximize that, and that's just something that you have to go through. And as you go by, you learn how to avoid those situations. A lot of people don't accept deliveries that's, you know, less than $1 a mile or $2 a mile. So that's some of the tips and tricks that you guys can use as well. I'll be making another video showing you guys my personal tips and tricks and what I use to try to make about $30 an hour on a good day, and sometimes on average it's about $20 an hour. That's just something I want you guys to know. The pay can be bad. You're gonna have some rough hours where you only make $6, $10 an hour. That's just something that's a part of the app. You guys have to be, you know, open to that, because sometimes DoorDash is slow. If the orders are coming in back to back, then you could cherry pick. But let's say you get an order every 5 minutes, every 10 minutes. You're gonna have to do those small orders if you wanna make some money, or you're gonna have to go home. So it's not always, you're not always going to be in that position to decline all the orders that don't meet your requirement or is not enough for you. Sometimes you're going to have to take those smaller orders, and that's just something I want to let you guys know right now before you guys think about getting started. Another thing I want to say, that this app is very time consuming. DoorDash is very time consuming. If you want to go out there and make money, you're going to have to be on the road for hours. If you want to make $100 a day, you're going to have to allocate 6 hours, 5 hours out there in order to make that. If you want to make 120, you're going to have to be out there 6, 7 hours a day. It's very time consuming. And for us, you know, entrepreneurs, this is a side gig for us. This is what we use to maybe invest in our business or, you know, whatever, maybe take a vacation. I'll say this, DoorDash for me is something temporary. I don't plan on doing this for a long time. It's just something I'm going to do now to reinvest it into my businesses and maybe buy some stocks or whatever the situation is, invest. And, you know, the goal for me is to make money online. And that's my main entrepreneurship journey goal right there, to transform everything online. DoorDash is like hard labor. You're having to drive. You have to go upstairs. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know, it's a lot. When I first started doing DoorDash, I was doing it like every day, and it took so much time away from me from doing my other things because I have other businesses that I'm involved in, and I noticed that I was allocating most of my time to DoorDash, and that's bad. So what I want to encourage you guys to do is try to make a schedule and stick to it. DoorDash is very time consuming, so if you guys are already busy, this might not be the thing for you. It's going to take time, and depending on your goal, if you want to make maybe $20 a week, then you know you're going to have to put in like 10 to 12 hours to do that. So that's just something I want to let you guys know up front. Another thing is DoorDash can be very addicting. When I first started doing DoorDash and I seen how much money I made in my first 9 hours, I believe it was like $4.50 or something like that in my first 9-10 hours. I was like, oh my gosh. So what I did is that just made me want to keep going, keep going, keep going. I found myself doing DoorDash every day. For that first week, I found myself doing it every day, which is really bad because you want to have a work-life balance and you want to take care of your health. You know, you don't want to be on the road every day. That's not good for you. You want to be strategic about it. You want to have a schedule and you want to make sure you follow by it. And the reason why I feel like I was addicted is because, you know, I'm seeing the amount of money I'm making every day. You know, $4.50 in 10 hours, that's really good. My other businesses, I don't get paid as quick as DoorDash, and I was seeing the money like there physically. I started making goals for myself, like, let me try making $30 an hour. Let me see if I could do this. I just started making different challenges for myself that I was trying to accomplish every day. So that's just something for you guys to know. Another thing is I found it to be somewhat fun, which is crazy because ideally it's not fun at all. You're driving around, you're going to a restaurant, picking food up. No, I don't know. I just find it fun. Maybe because I like driving already. So that's probably why I find it fun, but it is addicting, and make sure you guys are strategic and have a schedule to avoid being sucked in and, you know, being smart about it. One of the big things you guys have to worry about is maintenance. You will add up a lot of miles on your car. One day I did a 12-hour shift and I'm watching the miles go up. Like, I probably did like 300 miles that day. And I know you guys probably wondering, why the heck would you do 12 hours in one day? And the reason behind it is because that weekend DoorDash had a challenge. So I believe the challenge was do 35 orders and you get like a bonus 150. So what I try to do, I try to knock out as much orders as possible I could in one day, so that way I could be closer to my challenge or meeting that challenge requirement. So with that, with you doing more miles in your car, you know, you're going to be having to service the car more often. Let's say you're supposed to do an oil change every 5 months. Now you're going to be able to do an oil change every 3.5, 4 months. And maybe your tires, you're going to be having to start and change your tires more often now, and your brakes. So that's just something to take into consideration. If your car is already, you know, high mileage, this might not be the thing for you. Or let's say your car is low mileage and you don't want to run the miles up, or let's say you're leasing, you know, this is not a thing for you. Or maybe you want to get a second car. If you can, I recommend that. If you could get a second car, maybe like a cheap car, because DoorDash don't care what car it is. So if you could get like a cheaper car, maybe like on Craigslist or OfferUp for like, you know, affordable price that's reliable, I would rather do that than taking your brand new car with low mileage and putting all those mileage on it. Another thing to keep in mind is that DoorDash is very inconsistent. What I mean is that you're not gonna always be able to go on the app and dash now. the area you're in, it has to be busy. And then how you'll find out is that you go on the map, and if it's not red, if it's like clear, you're not going to be able to dash unless you're scheduled. You have to schedule ahead of time. If you're in a busy market, soon as that schedule get available, you have to go ahead and schedule yourself in order to drive. But if the area is, you know, somewhat busy, you're able to just go ahead and dash now without having a schedule. Well, the thing is, I never knew about that. When I first started DoorDash, it was a weekend, so I was able to just go dash now. You know, DoorDash don't really give us much instructions. We just kind of put things together, like, okay, go open the app, dash now. It's simple, it's straightforward. But I later learned about the scheduling thing. Like, wait, I went out there thinking I was going to be able to start working, and I wasn't able to do it because I didn't have a schedule and it was not busy. That's just something to keep in mind, that, you know, you're not going to always be able to dash. It's mainly on busy days unless you have a schedule, and the schedule have to be available. Sometimes they'll make you wait like an hour or 30 minutes after you schedule yourself. Another thing with inconsistency is the peak pay. When I first started doing DoorDash, it was peak every day. Nowadays, it's barely peak. I don't know what they use to determine when to peak or not. What I think peak pay is based on maybe how busy the restaurants are, or how busy that area is, or maybe if they want more drivers to come out. That way they could fulfill more orders, because it's a business, right? The only way they'll give us extra money is if they're making extra money. So maybe it's that they have more orders that day and they want to fulfill it, but the peak pay, they're encouraging us or giving us an incentive to, you know, do those orders. And I touched on this one earlier. The base pay is very low. It's $2 to $3 on average. That's what I noticed. Mostly $3, but sometimes there are $2. And the pay is mostly on tips. That's what really pays us. Because a lot of times when I check my pay for the week, it'll be like half of it is from DoorDash itself and the other half is from customer. A lot of times the customer tips do outweigh the DoorDash pay. DoorDash rely mostly on tips. That's how you're gonna make your money. You know, you wanna go into some good neighborhoods, some good restaurants where people are tipping good, because if you don't, you're not gonna really make anything. You're gonna just be stuck with that $3 per order, and that's not really good, because, you know, it takes about 30 minutes to do one order, or somewhere around that, depends on the distance and how long it takes to get ready. Earlier I talked about DoorDash being addicted, me putting other stuff aside and focusing on DoorDash, and that's not good. Personally, DoorDash did affect my health, because I was working out, you know, quite often, and when I started doing DoorDash, I started working out less. You know, you guys want to make sure that your guys are still being active, you know, still working out, and just putting your health first. You know, health is your wealth. You're always on the road. It's like a trucking job. You're driving for hours and you're just eating on the road. Like for me, I'll just stop at a fast food restaurant while I'm driving, take a quick break, and boom, I'm on to the next order. And then sometimes with DoorDash is, you're going to so many restaurants and you're smelling all that food. You start to get hungry. You start to see new restaurants you never knew exist, and you want to try those restaurants as well. So, you know, just be careful and be intentional about your health, and make sure that, you know, you do remain, you know, active, and don't let this mess with your health, because that's very important. Another big thing I wish I knew is a sign-up link. Make sure you guys use a sign-up link when you sign up to become a Dasher. I have my link in my bio. You could use anybody else's link. It don't matter. Just make sure you use the link, because DoorDash will give you a bonus. The bonus, it does fluctuate. I've seen it to be as high as 900. I think right now for me it's like 600. So if you sign up and you do like 240 orders in 60 days or so, they'll give you a big bonus. So make sure, if you guys haven't signed up yet, please click the link in my bio and sign up using my referral code. That's important. It's gonna help you guys. I don't know if it benefits me from what I know, but I know for definitely it does give you a bonus once you fulfill that requirement. Another important thing you guys want to do is track your miles. You want to, this is important for tax purposes. You know, this is something I didn't know when I was getting started. I just learned this the other day, and I already have the QuickBooks app, so that way I'm going to be able to start tracking my miles, because QuickBooks, they have a track miles feature. There are different apps you can use to track your miles, because I have a business already and I use QuickBooks to send invoices, well, request invoices from my clients. This is one of the features that QuickBooks came with, so I could actually utilize that feature, and when I drive, I could just start tracking, and when tax time come around, I could use, deduct some miles or wear and tear. So make sure you guys are tracking your mileage and keeping track of how many miles you did doing DoorDash. This part is on safety. You want to make sure that you have a good insurance policy. You're going to be driving on the road more often. The more you drive, the higher your possibility is of having a car accident. Make sure that you guys have good coverage, full coverage if possible. Make sure you guys have a low deductible, so that way if anything happens, you're covered. DoorDash does provide insurance, but you have to be en route of picking up an order or delivering an order. That's the only way they cover you, and you still have to go through your primary insurance first before you could file anything with DoorDash. So make sure that you guys have good insurance, a low deductible. Just want to be safe. You're going to be driving on the road more, so you do want to be covered if anything happens. You don't want to have a car accident, your car get messed up, and then you're not able to drive anymore, make no money. Make sure you guys have roadside assistance in case anything happens, and that rental coverage thing, so that way if you get in an accident, your car is wrecked, you just bring it to the shop, you go pick up your rental, and then you can go back to driving the rental. So just make sure you guys have good protection, a good insurance policy. Another thing I wish I knew is that it's going to be a lot of apartments. In my market, there was a lot of apartments, and I ended up getting lost, and sometimes I would actually bring the food to the wrong apartment, and the customer would call me, hey, wrong apartment, I have to go back and do double the work, or they'll text me and say wrong apartment. So make sure that you guys verify the building number and apartment, and make sure you guys are bringing the food to the right place, so that way you don't have to put double work on yourself. Because imagine having to go to the 3rd floor, you come down in your car, getting ready to pull out, a customer texts or call you, hey, wrong apartment. You have to go back to the 3rd floor, pick the food up, and then bring it to the right place, and you have to go back to maybe the 3rd floor again. That's a lot of work, and it's going to be time consuming. There are apps that you could use to find apartments better, because the map don't do a good job, especially with new constructions. I'll try to put the app in the description or somewhere in this video, so that way you guys can know which app, one of the apps you guys can use. Last thing I wish I knew is that some restaurants does take time. Like I mentioned in the video earlier, some restaurants will have you waiting a long time. So I wish there was like a list that they have where it'll tell you like the average wait time for this restaurant, or how this restaurant structured with DoorDash. DoorDash send an order out after the order is ready? Do they send it out as soon as the restaurant get an order? Or I wish I had like some details or some type of algorithm that tells me when to, which restaurants take how long. Because I did an order at Twin Peak, and I was there for 45 minutes. Ridiculous. So I wish I knew ahead of time, but now I'm getting better at that. Now I kind of have an idea of which restaurants take long and which restaurants to avoid. For example, the Wingstop at my house, I know that during rush hours or during the afternoon, you're going to have to wait. So I try to avoid that restaurant unless I have a double order. That's the only way I'll probably do a Wingstop, or if it's like a good, let's say it's like $9 1 mile, then I'll wait. But on average, I don't wait I try to decline all those orders at that restaurant. That wraps the video up. I hope you guys found this video to be informal. I just wanted to share my knowledge with you guys, let you guys know there's some things to be aware of before getting started with DoorDash. That way you don't make the same mistake I did. This video is not to discourage you guys from starting out. I do DoorDash probably every week I'm in town. Sometimes I do go back to Miami or go out on vacation or whatever. But every time I'm in my city, I do try to DoorDash every weekend. So I'm not discouraging anybody to do it. I'm just, share my knowledge. My camera just shut off. I don't know why. Maybe I was recording too long. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys like this video and leave a comment down below if you guys found the video to be helpful.